What's up, everybody? Welcome in the Seth Floyd Show. I'm your host, Seth Floyd Hansen, getting a little video in real quick right after I get home from work. And I just feel like I've got to add again, because this isn't going anywhere, the topic of Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold. It is Tuesday. It is the it's the evening after that horrendous Monday Night Football wildcard game, Vikings at the Rams, and good night, Sam Darnold. Good night. That was terrible. That was as bad of a performance from Sam Darnold, I think, ever. I mean, he has a obscure regular season game when he played for the Jets that, was as bad, but good night, man. Given the stage, his first playoff game as a starter just couldn't have gone any worse. And I think that this Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold debate is done by any reasonable fan, okay? Because we've seen Brock Purdy be on the biggest stage, and he doesn't crumble. Now, he doesn't always like Superman you to victory, okay? Like, that's probably not who Brock is. He's not a top 3, top 5-ish guy, depending on who you talk to. But he hasn't shrunk under the lights. He's had some bad halves. First half against Green Bay, first half against Detroit, but then he got it together and came roaring back. So I'm just adding my stamp of, man, Brock really is the dude. I'm not saying anything that people don't know or hasn't been said before, but this is what 49er fans know about Brock Purdy, is that he's the dude. He is. If he's got a solid team that is healthy around him, like 95% of the quarterbacks need, then your team is going to be good. There's only about 3 guys, I'll say, that are going to will your team to victory more often than not, despite what is around you, okay? Brock in the playoffs, guys, all we ever care about or what we decide is the most important, apparently, for quarterbacks, and I've been on this too. This is my problem with Lamar Jackson, is how do you play in the playoffs? What is your playoff record? Okay? And I know wins are not 100% a quarterback stat, but they're pretty tied. And Brock is 4-2 in the playoffs. Okay? But his 2 losses, one, he got knocked out on the first drive against the Eagles NFC Championship game towards UCL in his elbow. That counts as a loss for him. And then the other one, he took the Chiefs to overtime and they lost to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. What do you want? What do you want? Okay, he didn't lose that game. Just anyone who watched that game, you know. He didn't lose that game. Sam Darnold, it really looked like he crumbled under the pressure. So I feel like this officially needs to be put to bed, okay? That Sam Darnold, while he had a great year, and at times he looked like Superman, but look at his offensive line. Look at his coach. Look at his 2 receivers he's thrown to, plus TJ Hawkinson. And I know everyone says that about Brock Purdy too, but Sam's lows, especially last night, were so horrific on the biggest stage, and Brock has never done that on the biggest stage. That's all I'm trying to get at. One thing that we all saw on display too is one of Brock Purdy's superpowers that doesn't get talked about is his ability to get the ball out on time, which we do talk about his anticipation, but he doesn't hold on to the ball. He maybe did a little more this year, but he doesn't hold on to the ball like crazy. And his escapability. Superpower. And what you saw on display last night with Sam Darnold was the opposite. That is a huge weakness for Sam. And you know what's going to haunt him is that old clip when he played for the Jets where they were playing the Patriots and he said, man, I'm seeing ghosts out there. Last night he was seeing ghosts. You could see he'd drop back, he'd be looking at the defense, and he wasn't trusting what he was seeing, and so he's holding on to the ball. And then he doesn't have the escapability that Brock has, or at least he hasn't shown it. That is one of the biggest things about Brock's game that doesn't get talked about because he's small and he's white and he's not a blazing 40-time guy, but like he said his 10-yard splits actually is the same as Christian McCaffrey, I think he said, and you can see it. He's slippery in the pocket and he can get out of there, and that's one of the biggest things that separates a guy like him and Sam Darnold, I believe. Now again, Sam had a great year. He had a great year. I feel for him because these last 2 weeks probably cost him $20 to $30 million. So what happens to Sam Darnold going forward? Kevin O'Connell spoke last night after, he gave the post-game presser, and man, it sounded like he was moving on from Sam Darnold. He kept saying everything Sam's done this year on his journey what he takes going forward. Like, I'll always remember this time we had with Sam, this season we had together. Like, I don't know, dude. Sounds like you guys are breaking up. That sounds like the pre-breakup text you're sending to your girl, trying to lead her, like, soften the blow. You're kind of hoping she does it first. Anyway, that's what Kevin O'Connell is doing. That's what it sounded like to me. It sounds like Sam's gone. And I, rightfully so. Look what the Broncos did with Bo Nix. And, like, I don't think we fully know how good Bo Nix is. Like, could he be better than he showed? Yes. Could he be worse than he showed? Yes. But put him in a stable environment with a really good defense. He actually didn't have the best weapons around him, so that's an uptick for Bo. Like, he could be even better if you got a few more weapons around him. But I'm sure Kevin O'Connell's looking at Bo Nix's situation. He's like, man, I got J.J. McCarthy. I'm as good of an offensive coach as Sean Payton is. I believe he is, by the way. I don't know if you disagree with that, but I think Kevin O'Connell's a top 5 offensive coach. And I can do that with J.J. McCarthy, who's waiting in the wings. Also, Viking fans, you're not going to want to hear this. You're not going to want to hear this. But Daniel Jones is on your roster. I don't know if he's signed past the season. I don't know what that situation is. But I bet you it's crossed Kevin O'Connell's mind. He's like, Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, and Sam Darnold were in the exact same situation, essentially. Like, if I can get that out of Sam Darnold, why can't I get the same production out of Danny Dimes if J.J. McCarthy's not ready to go? I'm not predicting that. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm telling you that's probably crossed Kevin O'Connell's mind. Okay, he's probably thought, man, I don't need to sign Sam for $30 million. Like, I have DJ on the vet minimum, and I can probably get him to replicate what what Sam Darnold did. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen with Sam. My prediction is he's going to sign another 1-year, $10 million deal somewhere, like like the New York Giants, which would be egregious, it feels like, because they just had Danny Dimes, but the New York Giants, the Las Vegas Raiders, the New York Jets, like one of these teams that is not, and it's not a strong quarterback class. Even the 2 guys that are going to go in the first round, there might be a third. Like, I'm not sure that you want that guy leading your franchise right now going forward. So I expect Sam Darnold to sign a deal with a team like the Giants or the Raiders or the Jets or one of those. And 1 year, $10 million, same thing he just got with the Vikings. Problem is, it's not going to be as good of a situation. And he's probably not going to be able to do what he did this year with Kevin O'Connell. But that would be my prediction. Okay, I don't think Sam's done. I think someone's going to give him another chance because he won 14 games this year. At his highs, he looked really good. And so there's got to be a coach that's like, look, like the Giants. Dayball's looking at this, and he's like, look, I can roll out Danny DeVito. I know it's Tommy DeVito. I'm just giving you a hard time. I can roll out Danny DeVito, or I can roll out Sam Darnold, who's actually won games in his career under good coaching. It's going to be a Sam Darnold for $10 million a year. I'd be shocked if that doesn't happen. If he doesn't get a starting job offer from a team in free agency, then it's not out of the realm of possibility he comes back to the Niners. Like I bet Kyle Shanahan would love to have Sam Darnold back and just be like, look, man, we need a guy. We need a backup. Okay, I'm letting Brandon Allen go. Maybe you're competing with Josh Dobbs for that backup spot, but I loved you when you were here before. We'll sign you $6 million deal. Let's make it happen. I don't know. I don't know if that works with the numbers, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Regardless, 49er fans, I think you have to be excited. Like no one made more money this weekend than Brock Purdy. And you should feel good because so many of these quarterbacks looked really bad in the playoffs. And Brock has never looked that bad. The worst he's looked in the playoffs was the first half against Green Bay in the divisional round last year. He had a couple balls that should have been intercepted that were dropped. But he came back in the second half, led a fourth quarter comeback. Same thing against Detroit. He threw a bad interception against Detroit. And then he started balling in the second half. Like, he has risen to the occasion. No one made more money than Brock Purdy this weekend. Herbert looked terrible. Jordan Love looked terrible. Guys, Jordan Love is the classic. He's the classic, like, man, all the talent in the world, great athlete, great arm. He can make incredible highlight throws. But man, is he going to make some bad throws. Man, is he going to make some bad decisions. And man, is he going to do it at times in the most important game of the year. He played fantastic against Dallas in the wild card round last year. Guess what? That was one of the worst defenses we've ever seen, and they were running the ball up and down the field. Dallas had no answer, okay? And then against the 49ers, guess what? He made a couple good throws in the first half, and then he threw 2 damning picks in the fourth quarter that just iced it for them, killed them. And that last pick, Green Bay fans, it was not like, oh, chuck it up, 20 seconds left, we're just trying to make something happen. No, there was over a minute on the clock, or there was like 50 seconds. They had 2 timeouts. It was like second down, and he just throws this egregious pick over the middle. And then against Philly, a couple real bad interceptions. The first one I actually wasn't the worst I've ever seen. He was trying to push it downfield, but he underthrew a little bit. The next one was real bad, over the middle, just didn't see the linebacker. Can we put to rest? Like, I need to see more from Jordan Love before you guys start anointing him, okay? Because everyone had Jordan Love pushing the top 5, and it was a joke if you started asking, well, would you rather have Jordan Love or Brock Purdy? Like, it was a no-brainer. Guys, biggest games, Love threw a lot of picks this year, and in the biggest games, he's struggled. I need to see more out of Love. Love looked bad. Herbert looked bad. Oh, gosh, who else am I thinking? Baker did not look good. There's all these guys that just, they made Brock a lot of money this year. And you should feel good, 49er fans. As long as Brock can revive and like the team can bring back some health and stay healthy in 2025, I think the arrow's pointing up. But we got to see what that Brock Purdy contract is. I can't wait. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like the video, subscribe. That was my little man just opened the door. It's like, Dad, what are you doing? Like the video, subscribe. I'll hit you another video this week of things the 49ers need to do in the 2025 draft to set themselves up for success. You guys are awesome. I'm out.